नमस्कार. आयच्या ह्या खाशेल्या हिडोनात तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. आज आमचे असे गेस्ट आसात जे भारताचे नवे एडिशनल सॉलिसिटर जनरल आसात, गोंयकार. आनीक आदले एजी म्हणटना म्हाका बरेच त्रास जाता अशें तांकां तुमी सगळे अख्खे गोंय वळखता ते गोंयचे एडवोकेट जनरल. अजून मेरेन हांव इंटरव्यू घेतना ते एडवोकेट जनरल आसात. घडये इंटरव्यू टेलिकास्ट जातलो तेन्ना ताणें रिजायन केल्ले आसतले ते आत्माराम माडकरी. सर, वेलकम टू द शो. त्रास जाता तुम्ही एजी म्हणून रिजायन जाता आयकतकीर? तुमकां बी त्रास जाता?
एजी म्हणून 11 वर्सां केली हांवें गोंयचो एजी म्हणून. सो आतां दिस इज अंडर अ डिफरंट सर्कमस्टन्स दॅट आय एम गोइंग टू रिजायन टुडे एट 12 o'clock and then take up the post at the center in the Supreme Court. It's more challenging. So it's a mixed feeling because nobody would like to leave Goa. गोंय सोडपाक कोणाकूच नाका. भायले लोक सुद्दां गोंयांत येतात. तर गोंय ही म्हजी जन्मभूमी. इट हॅज बीन कर्मभूमी until now. Now the कर्मभूमी will shift.
कर्मभूमी will shift. एक how did this happen? And if I'm not mistaken, you are the first Goinkar who is the additional solicitor general exclusively in the Supreme Court.
This happens because you are invited, having regard to your standing at the bar, performance, etc. You are normally invited to join the central team because there's a formidable team for the Union of India. And so it's essentially a decision of the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister itself decides. A cabinet committee is there in terms of the rules of business which approves the appointment. And thereafter it's notified under a presidential notification in the Gazette.
You are a very famous private lawyer also. Other Advocate General Munter, you are representing state of Goa. Now you are going to represent the Union of India. Private practice and defending the state and defending the nation. What difference do you see and what balance do you see?
See, in a private practice, basically, a lawyer's job is to defend, to argue the matters for his client. Now, in a given case, it could be a private client where you fight for rights of the citizens. When you argue matters on behalf of the state, it's normally for the public good. State makes a law for public good, for public exchequer, taxation laws, that you defend. And in the case of Union of India, it's for the whole of the country. So these are three different roles essentially. But insofar as a lawyer is concerned, he is a thorough professional, so it hardly matters whether you appear for the state or the union or for the private individual.
The feeling is different when you stand in the court of law.
Feeling is different when you stand in a court of law.
एक 11 वर्सांचो कार्यकाळ आनी ह्या सरकारा मदींतले भरपूर चॅलेंजीस. यू हॅड बीन अ व्हेरी प्रॉमिनंट फिगर. कारण सरकाराक एडवायस करप, मागीर सामकी मायनिंगाची केस धरून म्हादयची केस मेरेन सगळी केसी झगडप. हाव हॅज बीन दीस 4 years? Satisfied, painful?
Very satisfied, very satisfied, very satisfied. Not at all painful, very satisfied. One, I'm so thankful that I got this opportunity to do something for Goa because Maday is the lifeline of Goa. Now, true it is that we are saying that we will not give a drop of water to Karnataka and all, but that is in the lighter vein. Factually and actually, Maday is an interstate river. It flows between, emanates in Bhimgarh Sanctuary in Karnataka, comes to Maharashtra and comes to Goa. There are 4 wildlife sanctuaries. What Karnataka wants to do is they want to create dam. For example, Kalsa Bandora Prakalp. So if you create a dam there, then the drinking water which comes to Oppa will be stopped. You will not be able to get enough water to pump to Oppa. The Haltara Nalla will stop the Surla waterfall completely. They have 8 dams which they want to construct. So the entire river they want to divert and divert to an altogether different basin, that is Malaprabha basin, for taking the water to Hubli Dharwad areas. If they do this, then Surla fall, Dudhsagar fall, and the entire Mahadev river will dry up. We are not against Karnataka taking water within the basin, because Karnataka villages like Goa's downstream villages are also on the basin. Now, why in the basin? You can take for drinking, you can take for irrigation. How much can you take for drinking and irrigation? It's not more than 1.7 TMC, 2 TMC, 5 TMC. But diverting it outside the basin, and that too by putting artificial dams like this, would be spoiling the entire Western Ghats. A, the ecosystem. 2, it will affect the salinity of the water. 3, it will dry up Goa. 4, the riparian state is going to be affected economically, socially, and environmentally. It will be a complete disgrace. So this is what we want to stop. Of course, the tribunal is going to decide the allocation of share of the water. Now, recently we have found in Mahadev that, see, why I said Mahadev was the challenging issue is, till 2012 nothing was done by anybody, let's be frank. 9th of March when Parrikar was sworn in 2012, Manohar Parrikar was the first one who took active interest in Mahadev, and that is how he involved me. After I came, we filed claim statement and everything. Then we got injunction against Karnataka, we got injunction against Maharashtra. So water is not diverted. Today the evidence has started. Today it has come on record that Karnataka in Hubli Dharwad area is having a Pepsi plant to which they are supplying 3 lakh liters of water. 2008 they were supplying 50,000 liters per day. Today they are supplying 3 lakh liters of water. There is an agreement between Karnataka Water Board and Pepsi. They've got large industrial estate, which from one industrial estate they've gone to about 10 or 12 industrial estates. Now Hubli Dharwad is a deficient region. Why has Karnataka planned it there? There are 11 districts in Karnataka which are surplus water. Now if it is a surplus water, plan your industries etc. in those areas. So you don't want to disturb your surplus water and you want to deprive water for Goa. This is one way. 2, Mahadev basin is a deficient basin. It's known to be a deficient basin. So you can't take water out of the deficient basin and take it to an altogether another basin, which is completely and which is a subject matter of Krishna dispute. So that's the reason all these have become very challenging.
How strongly we stand today on this case in the tribunal?
Mahadev case is sufficiently good. Mahadev case is sufficiently good. Of course, till now I was appearing. Now after resign as Advocate General, I do not know what the government intends to do. It's for the government.
Can you appear as Solicitor?
I can appear. I can appear as Additional Solicitor General of India. I can appear. Union of India is always a formal party to a dispute. It has nothing to do with the dispute. I can't surely appear for Union of India because I have already appeared for Goa. 2, having regard to
but you can continue appearing for Goa.
Yeah, only thing, a formality of no objection certificate, no objection from Union of India will have to be taken by the Goa government if they want my services.
Can Karnataka object?
Karnataka can object, but I don't think that objection will sustain. On what is the ground on which they are objecting, what prejudice is caused to them. It is not that if I go, no other council will come, some other council will come. The ground is that I have always been involved in this dispute.
Correct.
That I am aware of the dispute.
From Goa's point of view, you have studied the matter, you are thorough with the matter, and you have taken it very seriously, and you have made it a personal mission to save Mahadev. So from that
That's
point,
only out of love and affection for Goa.
from that point of view,
Otherwise, Mahadev brief is like any other brief which
correct.
we just give
But
out.
from that point of view, Karnataka would love to keep you away from the case.
Karnataka would love to keep me away definitely from this case.
Yes.
They have gone to the extent of giving threats, etc. They have given threats to many people. They have gone to the extent of giving us threats, etc. Only thing, we have not taken it very seriously. We have simply ignored. I ignored so many things. So I would like this, I ignore these threats also.
Threats of what nature?
No, what has happened is this Hubli Dharwad, politically there are agitations, etc. They met the Prime Minister, they met the Chief Minister met, then our Chief Minister was asked and all those things. Our Chief Minister was very firm. I was very firm. Then before the tribunal, they get beating every time. Last time you must have observed where they produced a wrong document, etc. So it's always, they always think that it is like some people in Goa think a lawyer on the other side is responsible for their loss. So it is, they feel that since I'm appearing for Goa, Therefore, it is like that. But it's okay. These are threats. Basically, only when you are a frustrated element, you start giving these kind of things. Now, I can't leave my brief and my profession and concentrate on these kind of nasty things, which I have always ignored.
Second most important case is the handle was mining case. How tricky was that? And what was the
Mining was another
how
challenging issue.
consequential it was?
Because Supreme Court, by a stroke of order, stayed the entire mining in Goa. So it had affected the revenue, it had affected the local people, villagers and all that. And so a lot of workers were unemployed and all that. It affects the family and it has a direct cascading effect on many things. So therefore, before the Supreme Court we projected, and in fact the Supreme Court agreed with the stand of Goa and permitted the state of Goa to go ahead by framing its own policy and decide upon the leases, whether to renew them or to auction them or to do. That is the government decision, pursuant to which the government took decision and they renewed. Then the matter went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court, they had asked for stay against renewals. That stay was not granted to them. And matter, we have filed our reply justifying it. Now it will come up. Again, it may be, if the government wants, I can appear in it, but otherwise it's the government choice who they want to engage in that matter now.
एक की मायनिंगाच्या हातूंतल्यान की एक्टिविजम आनी एक्टिविस्टांच्यो गव्हर्मेंटाचेर केसी इवन तुमचेर आरोप पर्सनल आरोप ह्याय फेजींतल्यान तुमी ह्या कार्यकाळा भितर गेल्यात. हाऊ डू यू लुक एट इट द एक्टिविजम going to judiciary, leveling personal attacks even on you? How do you look at it?
Activism, so long as somebody is an activist, it's a welcome thing. You need NGOs, you need activists, because some of these NGOs are doing a very fine job. Some of the activists are also doing a fine job. Like for example, RTI activists or activists who expose certain corruption, etc. They're doing a fine job. But when these activists reach a level of frustration, then they start making personal allegations. But as I tell you, what allegations they do or what thoughts they do is all for them to decide. I should not get disturbed or affected by it. Surely my foundations must be stronger to simply ignore these kind of things, and which I have done today. If you ask me, I am thankful to them because it has given me more power and energy to ignore them.
एक दुसरी गजाल खुबश्यो अशी केसी आहात इवन एक्टिविस्टांनी घाल्ल्यो ज्यो ग्रीन ट्रायब्युनला भितर आसात. मेनी ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट्स ऑफ गोवा गव्हर्नमेंट आर गेटिंग स्टॉल्ड बिकॉज ऑफ that. What is your view on that?
Garbage treatment plant at Saligaon, that was uncalled for. Maybe they thought that they were kept in dark. But what do you mean kept in dark? You can ask for information under the Right to Information Act. You can always ask for all the replies, etc. were filed. But still, simply saying that we were kept in dark and simply going and opposing project. They opposed Konkan Railway. They are opposing MAPA. You have seen the state of the airport, you know it very well. You have seen the state of affairs at the Mandavi Bridge. It takes 1 hour in the evening. No, we don't want the third Mandavi Bridge. Now that's the need of the hour. The 2 Mandavi bridges can't live for more than 20 years. You need a bridge which will stand for the next 100 years. Now this has to be planned in time. Here is a government which is planning it in time. It has extended the roads, it has created the infrastructure. Why oppose it simply just for the sake of opposition? That is something I really don't like.
These things have been the biggest irritation. That defending such kind of projects which are in the public interest, but still you have to go in front of the tribunal.
I don't say it's an irritation, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge more specifically to expose these kind of people, saying that, convince the courts, convince the people that these are projects which are the need of the hour. So, but at the same time, if you see from the viewpoint of these environmentalists, they feel you have not done this, you have not done that, so many things are not done, therefore we are doing this.